services manager. I'm gonna give you a 10 out of 10 on Yelp, okay?
Welcome to UNCG Theater. Please take a moment to notice the emergency exits at either side of Taylor Theater and through the main entrance doors. Please turn off all cell phones and electronic devices. Today's performance will run without an intermission. Enjoy the show.
Things change in time. In a moment in time, in 1945, everything changed.
That's the best audio or visual?
The desert of central New Mexico, an area called the Ordoño Muerto, the journey of death. This place is now known as Tempest. In a moment in time, at this spot, in July 1945, things have changed.
I will bring woe to you, mine enemies. Brought low, you will speak from the ground. Your speech will mumble out of the dust. Your voice will come ghost-like from the earth. Suddenly, in an instant, you will come with thunder and earthquake and great noise, with windstorm and tempest and flames devouring fire. Then the hordes of all the nations that fight against Ariel, that attack her and her fortress and besiege her, shall be as it is with a dream, with a vision in the night. Be stunned and amazed.
acre of barren ground? Lockheath, proud birds, anything? The will's about to be done, but I would fain die a dry death.
Sit down. The hour's now come. The very minute bids thee ope thine ear. Obey and be attentive. 12 years, Miranda. 12 years since thy mother was the Duchess Millen, a prince of power, and my sister Antonia. Pray thee, mark me, that a sister should be so perfidious, and she who next thyself of all the world I loved, and to her put the manage of my state, as at that time prosper the Duchess being so reputed in dignity, the liberal arts, science without a parallel, those being all my study, the government I cast upon my sister, and to my state her stranger, being transported, wrapped in secret studies. Dost thou attend me?
Ma'am, most heedfully.
I pray thee mark me, I thus neglecting worldly ends, all dedicated to closeness and the bettering of my mind, awakened in my false sister an evil nature. She did believe she was the Duchess out of the substitution, in executing the outward face of royalty with all prerogative. Hence her ambition growing, dost thou hear?
Your tale, ma'am, but your deafness.
She thinks me now incapable. Confederate, so dry she was persuaded this Queen of Naples, to give her annual tribute, do her homage and subject her coronet to the crown, and bend the dukedom yet unbowed, alas, poor Millen, to most ignoble stooping.
Oh, the heavens!
Now the condition. This Queen of Naples, being an enemy to me inveterate, hearkens on my sister's suit, were that she in the lieu of premises, and I know not how much tribute, should presently extricate me and mine out of the dukedom, and confer fair Millen with all honors upon my sister, where on one midnight did Antonia open the gates of Millen, and in the dead of darkness, the ministers for the purpose hurried hence me and your crying self.
Wherefore that hour did they not destroy us?
My tale provokes that question. Dear, they durst not. So dear to love my people bore me, nor set in fear. They hurried us aboard a bark, bore us some leagues to sea. There they prepared a rotten carcass of a ship, not rigged nor tackle, sail nor mast. The very rats instinctively have quit it. There they hoist us, to cry to the sea that roared to us, to sigh to the winds whose pity sighing back again did us but loving wrong.
Alack, what trouble was I then to you?
Oh, cherubin, thou wast that did preserve me. Thou didst smile infused with a fortitude from heaven.
How came we ashore?
By providence divine. Some food we had, some fresh water that a noble Neapolitan Gonzalo, out of his charity, being then appointed master of this design, did give us, with rich stuffs, linens, and necessaries, which since has studied much, as of his gentleness. Knowing I loved my books, he furnished me from mine own library with volumes that I prize above my dukedom.
Would I might could ever see that man?
Sit still and hear the last of our sea sorrow. Here in this island we arrived, and here have I, thy schoolmaster, made thee more profit than other princes can who have more time for vainer hours, and tutors not so careful.
Heavens, thank you for it. And pray you, ma'am, for 'tis still beating in my mind. Your reason for raising the sea storm.
Know thus far forth. By accident most strange, bountiful fortune, now, my dear lady, hath brought mine enemies to this shore. Here, cease more questions. If thou art inclined to sleep, 'tis a good dullness in given way. to the Tempest that I bade thee. To every article. I boarded the Queen's ship, now on the beak, now on the waist, the deck, in every cabin I flamed amazement. Sometime I divide, burn in many places. On the topmasts, yards, and bowsprit I flame distinctly, then meat and joy.
My brave spirit, who was so firm, so constant that this coil would not infect his reason.
Not a soul, but felt a fever of a man, and played some tricks of desperation. All but mariners plunged into the foaming brine and quit the vessel. Then, all afire with me, the Queen's son, Ferdinand, hair upstarring than like reeds not hair, was the first man that left crying, "Hell is empty, and all the devils are here."
Why, that's my spirit. But was not this nigh shore?
Close by, my master.
And are the aerials safe?
Not a hair perished. On their sustaining garments, not a blemish, fresher than before. And as thou badest me, in troops I have dispersed them down the isle. The Queen's son have I landed by himself, whom I left holding of the air with sighs, at an odd angle of the isle and sitting, his arms in this sad knot.
Of the Queen's ship, the mariners, say how thou hast disposed, and all the rest of the fleet.
Safely in harbor is the Queen's ship. There she's hid, all mariners under hatches stowed, who, with a charm joined to their suffered labor, I have left asleep.
Aerial, thy charge exactly is performed. But there's more work.
Is there more toil? That must bring me pains. Let me remember thee what thou hast promised, which is not yet performed me. How now, Rudy?
What is it thou canst demand?
My liberty?
Before the time be out? No more.
I pray thee, I doth thee worthy service. I told thee no lies, made thee no mistakings, served without grudge or grumblings. Thou did promise to bait me a full year.
Dost thou forget from what a torment I did free thee?
No.
Thou dost.
No, I do not, ma'am.
Thou most lying, malignant thing. Hast thou forgot the fowl which Sycorax, who with age and envy was grown into a hoop? Dost thou forget her?
No, ma'am.
Where was she born? Speak, tell me.
Ma'am, in Algiers.
Oh, was she so? I must once in a month recount what thou hast been, which thou forgetst. This damned witch Sycorax, whose mischiefs manifolds and sorceries terrible to enter human hearing. From Algiers thou knowst she was banned. For one thing she did, they would not take her life. Is not this true?
Aye, ma'am.
This blue-eyed hag was hither brought with child, and here was left by the sailors. Thou, my slave, as thou reportst thyself, was then her servant, and for being a spirit too delicate to act her earthy and abhorred commands, refusing her grant, hath she did confine thee into a cloven pine, within which rift imprisoned thou didst painfully remain a dozen years, within which space she died and left thee there. Thou didst vent thy groans as fast as mill wheels strike. Then in this island, save for the sun that she did litter here, a freckle-whelp hag born not honored with a human shape.
Yes, Caliban, her son.
Dull thing, I say so, that Caliban, whom now I keep in my service. Thou best knowst from what a torment I did find thee. It was a torment to lay upon the damned, which Sycorax cannot again undo. It was by mine art when I arrived and heard thee, that made gape the pine and let thee out.
I thank thee, master.
If thou more murmurs, I will rend thee yoke and peg thee in his naughty entrails till thou hast howled away 12 winters.
Pardon, master. I will be correspondent to command and do my spiriting gently.
Do so. And in 2 days, I will discharge thee. That's my noble master.
Now say what shall I do? What shall I do?
Go make thyself like a nymph of the sea. Be subject to no sight of thine and mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Go hence with diligence. Awake, dear heart, awake. Thou hast slept long enough, awake.
The strangeness of your story put a heaviness in me.
Come on, shake it off. We'll visit my slave, Caliban, who never yields us kind answer.
'Tis a villain, ma'am. I do not love to look on.
But as 'tis, we cannot miss him. He does fetch in our fuel, make our fire, and serve in offices that profit us. What ho, Caliban, thou earth, thou speak.
There's wood enough within!
Come forth, I say, I have other business for thee. Come, thou tortoise wen,
Oh. This island is mine. By Sycorax, my mother, which thou takest from me. When thou camest first, thou strokest me and made much of me. Wouldst give me water with berries in, and teach me how to name the bigger light, and how the less that burn by day and night. And then I loved thee, and showed thee all the qualities of the island, fresh springs, brine pits, barren place and fertile. Cursed be I that did so! All the charms of Sycorax, toads, beetles, bats light on you! For I am all the subjects that you have, which first was mine own king. And here you do stye me in this hard rock, whilst you do keep me from the rest of the island.
Thou most lying slave, whom stripes may move, not kindness, I have used thee, built as thou art with human care, and lodged thee in mine own cell, till thou didst to violate the honor of my child.
Oh, had it been done! Oh, thou didst prevent me! I also people this island with Caliban!
Lord, slay! This prince of goodness wilt not take. Be capable of all ill. I pitied thee. I took pains to make thee speak. I taught thee each hour one thing or other. When thou did not, savage, know thine own meaning, but wouldst gabble like a thing most brutish. I endowed thy purposes that made thy know. But thy vile race, though thou didst learn, had in it which good natures could not abide to be with. Therefore, thus you deservedly confined to this rock, who had deserved more than a prison.
You taught me language, and my profit on't is, I know how to curse. The red plague rid you for learning me your language.
Hag seed hence, fetch us in fuel and be quick. Thou art best to answer other business, struggest thou malice. If thou neglect what I command, I will rack thee with old cramps. Fill all thy bones with aches, make thee roar, that beasts shall tremble at thy day.
No, pray thee! I must obey. Her art is of such power, it would control my god Tempest, and make a vassal of him.
So hence.
Come unto these yellow sands, and then take hands, curtsy in your have and kiss. Though I always wrist, foot it feet here and there, and sweet sprites the burden there. my mother lies, of her bones are come made. Those are pearls that were her eyes. Nothing of them that could fade but dust of her into something rich and strange, seen entirely in her now. Ding dong, bell, la, 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 la. Ding dong, bell, la, la, la.
Did he just remember my drowned mother? This is no mortal business, nor no sound that the earth owes. I hear it now above me.
The fringed curtain of thine eyes advance, and say what thou seest yond.
What? Is this spirit? Lord, how it looks about. Believe me, ma'am, it carries a brave form. 'Tis a spirit.
No wench, it eats and sleeps and has such senses as we have such. This gallant which thou seest was in the rack, but he's something stained with grief. That's beauty's canker. Some might call him a goodly person, for he has lost his fellows and strays about to find them.
I might call him a thing divine. For nothing natural I ever saw so noble.
It goes on, I see. As my soul prompts its spirit, fine spirit, thou shalt be free in 2 days for this.
Most sure. The goddess on whom these airs attend. Vouchsafe my prayer may know if you remain upon this island, and that you will some good instruction give how I may bear me here. My prime request, which I do last pronounce is, oh, you wonder! If you be maid or no?
No wonder, sir. Was certainly a maid.
My language. Heavens. I am the best of them that speak this speech. Were I the word spoken.
How the best? What wouldst thou if the Queen of Naples heard thee?
A single thing, as I am now, wonders to hear thee speak of Naples. Myself am now king of Naples. With mine eyes never since at ebb I beheld the queen my mother read.
The lack for mercy.
At the first sight they have changed eyes. Delicate spirit, thou shalt surely be free for this. A word, good sir. A word. I fear you might have done yourself some wrong. A word.
Why speaks my mother so ungently? This is the second man I ever saw, and the first I ever sighed for. Pity moved my mother to be inclined my way.
Oh, if a virgin, and your affection not gone forth, I'll make you the queen of Naples.
Stop, sir. One word more. They are both in either's powers, but this swift business I must uneasy make. This true light winning makes the prize light. A word, good sir. I charge thee that thou attend me. Thou dost here usurp the name thou owest not, and hast put thyself upon this island as a spy, to win it from me, the Lord on it.
No, as I am a man,
Nothing ill can dwell in such a temple.
Follow me. Speak not boldly as a traitor. Come, I'll manacle thy neck and feet together. Salt water shalt thou drink, thy food shall be the fresh brook mussel, withered roots and husks, wherein the acorn cradled follow.
No! I will resist such entertainment till mine enemy has more power.
Oh, dear mother, make not too rash for trial for him, for he is gentle, not fearful.
What I say, my foot, my tutor? Put thy sword up, traitor, who makest to show but darest not strike. Thy conscience is so possessed with guilt. Come from thy lord, for I can here disarm thee with this stick and make thy weapon drop.
Beseech you, mother.
Hands him not on my garments.
Ma'am, have pity. I'll be his surety.
Silence! One word more shall make me chide thee, if not hate thee. What? An advocate for an impostor? Foolish wench. Thou thinkest there's no such shapes as he, having seen only he and Caliban. To the rest of the world, this is a Caliban, and then we are angels.
My affections for him are most humble. I have no ambition to see a goodlier man.
Come on, obey. Thy nerves are in their infancy, and they have no vigor in them.
So they are. My spirits, as in a dream, are all bound up. And my mother's loss, the weakness which I feel, the wreck of all of my friends, nor this dame's threats to whom I am subdued are but light to me. Might I but through my prison once a day behold this maid, enough have I in such a prison.
It works. Follow me. Heart what else thou shalt do me. Come.
Be of comfort, sir. My mother is of better nature than she appears by speech.
Thou shalt be as free as mountain winds, but exactly do all points of my command, to the syllable. Follow. Speak not for him.
Be merry, for you have cause, so have we all, of joy. For our state is much beyond our loss, but for the miracle, I mean our preservation. Few in millions can speak like us, so then wisely, good queen, weigh our sorrow with our comfort.
Prithee, peace!
Look, he's winding up the watch of his wit. By and by it will strive.
Ma'am,
One, tell.
when every grief is entertained that's been offered,
I prithee, spare!
well, I have done. But yet,
We will be talking.
Which, he or Adrian, for a good wager, first begins to crow.
The old cock.
The cockerel.
Done the wager.
A laughter.
A match.
Though this island seems to be desert,
Oh!
uninhabitable and almost inaccessible,
Yet.
yet
He could not miss.
it must needs be of subtle, tender, and delicate temperance.
Temperance was a delicate wench.
The air breathes upon us here most sweetly.
As if it had lungs and brought in one.
here is everything advantageous to life.
True, say it means to live.
But the rarity of it is, which is indeed almost beyond credit,
As many such rarities are.
that our garments, though being as they were drenched in the sea, hold notwithstanding their freshness and glosses, being rather new dyed than stained with salt water.
Our garments seem now as fresh as when we were at Tunis at the marriage of your daughter, who is now queen.
You cram these words into mine ears against the stomach of my sense. Would I had never married my daughter there, for coming thence, my son Ferdinand is lost, and in my rage she too, who is so far from Italy removed that I ne'er again shall see her. Oh, mine heir of Naples and of Milan, what strange fish hath made his meal on me?
Ma'am, he may live. I saw him beat the surges under him and ride upon their backs. He trod the water whose enmity he flung aside and breasted the surge most swollen and venom. I not doubt he came alive.
No, no, he's gone.
Ma'am, you may also think yourself for this great loss.
Prithee, peace.
And as to your son Ferdinand, whom I fear we've lost forever, Milan and Naples have more widows in them of this business's making than we bring men to comfort them. The fault's your own.
So is the dearest of the loss.
My lord Sebastian, the truth you speak doth lack some gentleness and time to speak it in. You rub the sore when you should bring the plaster.
Very well.
It's foul weather on us all, good lady, when you are cloudy.
Foul weather.
Very foul.
Had I plantation on this island, my
He'd
lord,
soaked with ecstasy.
and weren't king on it, what would I do?
Ooh, escaping drunk for want of wine.
In the Commonwealth, I would, by contraries, execute all things. For no kind of traffic would I admit. No name of magistrate. Letters should not be known. Riches, poverty, and use of service, none. Well, contract, succession, born, bound of land, tilth, vineyard, none. No use of metals, corn, or wine, or oil, or no occupation. All men, idle, all, and women too, but innocent and pure. Most sovereignty, no.
Yet he'd be king on.
The latter end of his commonwealth forgets the beginning.
All things in power nature should bring forth without sweat or endeavor. But nature should bring forth of its own kind, all poison, all abundance to feed my innocent
No
people.
marrying among his subjects.
None, man, all idle whores and knaves.
I would with such perfection govern man to excel the golden age.
Save his majesty!
And- Do you mark me, ma'am?
Prithee, no more. Thou dost talk nothing to me.
I do well believe your highness, and did it on occasion to minister to these women who are of such sensible and nimble lungs that they always use to laugh at nothing.
nothing to you. So you may continue and laugh at nothing still.
What a blow was there given! Nay, good my lord, be not angry.
No, I warned you I will not adventure my discretion so weakly. Will you laugh me to sleep? I'm very heavy.
Go sleep and hear us.
What? All so soon asleep?
I wish mine eyes would with themselves shut up my thoughts. I find they are inclined to do so.
Please you, ma'am, do not omit the heavy offer of it. It seldom visits sorrow when it doth, it is a comforter.
We too, my lord, will guard your person while you take your rest and watch your safety.
Thank you. Wondrous heavy.
What a strange drowsiness possesses them.
It is the quality of the climate.
Why doth it not then our eyelids sing? I find not myself disposed to sleep.
Nor I. My spirits are nimble. Worthy Sebastian, what might?
Truth is truth to the end of reckoning. I beseech you, speak thy truth.
No more. And yet, methinks I see it in thy face, but thou shouldst speak. My strong imagination sees thee with a crown.
What? Art thou waking? tribute thou payest, and I, your queen, shall love thee.
Draw together to kill Gonzalo.
My master, through her art, foresees the danger that you, her friend, are in, and sends me forth, for else her project dies to keep them living.
Are you here, someone? Open eye, conspiracies tough. Doth take it out like you keep upstairs. Shake up your soul everywhere.
Knock it, Angel! I have the queen!
What? Oh no! Oh! Awake! Why are you drawn? Wherefore this ghastly looking?
What's the matter?
Whilst we stood here, securing your repose, even now we heard a hollow burst of bellowing, like bulls, or rather lions. Did it not wake you? It struck mine ear most terribly.
I heard nothing. Oh, 'twas a din to fright a monster's ear. Heard you this, Gonzalo?
Upon mine honor, ma'am, I heard a humming. Not a strange one, too, which should awake me. I shook you, ma'am, and cried. As mine eyes opened, their weapons were drawn. There was a noise, that's verily. It's best we stand upon our guard, or that we quit this place. Let's draw our weapons.
Lead off this ground, and let's make further search for my poor son.
40 sure in the island.
Lead away.
Prospero, my lord, shall know what I have done. So, queen, go on safely to seek thy son.
Wolf? Where did you get wolf?
Or a lion.
Why are you doing this?
You've been here before.
All the infections that the sun sucks up from bogs, fens, flats, on prosper fall and make her by inchmeal a disease. Her spirits hear me, and yet I need must curse, but they'll nor pinch. Fright me with urchin shows, pitch me in the mire, nor leave me like a firebrand in the dark out of my way, unless she bid him. But for every trifle are thy set upon me. Sometime, like apes that loll and chatter at me, and after bite me, then like hedgehogs, which lie tumbling in my barefoot way and mount their pricks at my footfall. Oh. Sometimes am I all wound with adders, who with cloven tongues do hiss me into madness. Oh, lo, now, lo! Here comes the spirit of theirs to torment me for bringing women slowly. I'll fall back, perchance he will not find me.
Here is neither push nor shrug to bear off any weather at all in another shed his liquor. If itself under as it did before, I know not where to hide my head. Oh, young stain cloud did not choose, but for my pale down. What have we here? A man or a fish? Dead or alive? Oh, it's a fish! Smells like a fish. A very ancient and fish-like smell. A strange fish. Were I in England as I once was, there this monster would make a man. Any strange beast there makes a man. Feet like a man, legs like a man. Like a horse. With his fins like arms. Or, oh my trough. I do now then lose my opinion. Hold it no longer, this is no fish, but an islander who hath recently suffered from a thunderbolt. Alas, the storm is come again. My best way is to creep under his gabardine, for there is no shelter hereabouts. Misery acquaints a man with strange, dead fellows. Sleep by, shall not be but bomb. I shall no more see the sea. Here shall I die ashore. This is a very scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. But here's my comfort. The mass of the swab of the boats in the night, heave ho, the gunner and his mate. Heave ho, the Moor, Meg, and Marion and Marjorie, heave ho, but none of us cared for Kate. Heave ho, for she had a tongue with a tang, would cry to a sailor, go hang, for she loved never savor of tar nor pitch, yet a tailor might scratch her wherever she did it. Then to sea, boys, and let her go hang. Oh! This is a scurvy tune too, but here's my comfort.
Do not torment me!
What's the matter? Have we devils here? Ha! I have not stayed drowning to be afraid of your four legs now.
Oh, the spirit torments me!
This is the monster of the isle with four legs, who have got, as I take it, an ague. Where the devil should he learn our language? I will give him some relief if it be but for that. If all the wine in my bottle will recover him, I will help his ague. If all the wine in my bottle will recover him, he's a present for any emperor that ever on meat's leather.
Do not torment me, prithee! I'll bring my wood home faster!
He's in his fit now. He shall taste of my bottle. If he had never had wine before, it would go near to remove his fit. If I can recover him and keep him tame, I will not take too much for him.
Thou dost me yet but little hurt, thou wilt anon.
What?
I know it by thy trembling. Now prosper works upon thee.
Come on your ways. Open your mouth. Here is that which will give language to you, cat. This will shake your shaking. You can tell who's your friend. Open your chops again.
I should know this voice. It should be, but he is drowned. And these are devils. Oh, defend me!
What was that?
An aside.
Four legs and two voices, a most delicate monster. His forward voice is now to speak well of his friend. His backward voice is to utter foul speeches and to detract. If all the wine in my bottle will recover him, I will help his ache. Ooh, calm. Amen. Yes. I will pour some in thy other mouth. Doth thy other mouth call me? Mercy, mercy. This is a devil and no monster. I will leave him.
Stefano! If thou beest Stefano, speak to me and touch me, for I am Trinculo. Be not afeard, thy good friend Trinculo.
If thou beest Trinculo, come forth. I will pull thee by the lesser legs. For if it be Trinculo's legs, these are they. Thou art very Trinculo indeed. How camest thou to be the siege of this mooncalf? Can he vent Trinculos?
I took him to be killed by a thunderstroke, but I thought not drowned, Stefano. Is the storm overblown? I hid me under the dead mooncalf's gabardine for fear of the storm, and art thou living, Stefano? Oh, Stefano, to the paladin skates!
Prithee, do not turn me about. My stomach is not constant.
These be fine things, and if they be not sprites, that is a brave god and bears celestial liquor. I will kneel to him.
How camest thou hither? How didst thou escape? Swear by this bottle how thou camest hither. I escaped upon a butt of sack which the sailors heaved overboard.
I'll swear upon that bottle to be thy subject, for the liquor is not earthly.
Here, swear how thou escapest.
Swim ashore, man, like a duck.
Oh, here, kiss the bull.
Stefano, hast
me. I was the man in the moon when time was.
I have seen thee in her, and I do adore thee.
Come to swear to that. Here, kiss the book. I will furnish it anon with new contents. Swear.
By this good likeness is a very shallow monster. I have feared of him, a very weak monster. The man i' the moon, a most poor credulous monster.
Oh, and aside.
I'll show thee every fertile inch of this island, and I will kiss thy foot. I prithee, be my god. By this like a most perfidious and drunken monster, when's God's asleep, he'll rob his Bible. I'll kiss thy foot. I'll swear myself thy subject.
Come down then and swear.
I shall laugh myself to death at this puppy-headed monster, a most scurvy monster. I can find it in my heart to beat him. Cut the asides.
Come kiss.
Oh, and then the monster's intrigue, an abominable monster. I'll show thee the best springs. I'll pluck thee berries. I'll fish for thee and get thee wood enough. A plague upon the tyrant that I serve. I'll bear her no more sticks, but follow thee, thou wondrous man. A most ridiculous monster to make a wonder of a poor drunkard. Let me bring thee where the crabs grow, and I with my long nails will dig thee pignuts. Show thee a jay's nest, and instruct thee how to snare the nimble marmoset. Oh, you got it. I'll bring thee to clustering filberts, and sometime I'll get thee young scamels from the rock. Wilt thou go with me?
Prithee, will I? Lead the way without any more talking. Trinculo, the queen and all our company else being drowned, we will inherit here. Here, bear my bottle, Trinculo. We shall fill him by and by again.
Farewell, master! Farewell! Farewell! Howling monster! Oh, drunken monster!
some kinds of baseness are nobly undergone, and most poor manners point to rich ends. This, my menial task, would be as heavy to me as odious. The mistress which I serve quickens what's dead, and makes my labors pleasures. Oh, she is 10 times more gentle than her mother's crab. Crab. I must remove some thousands of these logs and pile them up upon a soaring junction. And my mistress weeps when she sees me work. Yet these sweet thoughts do even quicken my labors. Most busy less when I do it.
Alas now, pray you, work not so hard. I would the lightning had burnt up that log that you enjoining to the pile. Pray, set it down and rest you. My mother is hard at study. Pray now rest yourself. She is safe for these 3 hours.
Oh, most precious creature, the sun shall set before I shall discharge what I must strive to do.
If you'll sit down, I'll bear the log the while. Pray, I'll carry it to the pile.
No, precious creature, I should rather crack my sinews, break my back, than you should such dishonor undergo, while I sit lazy by.
It would become a thief, as it does you, and I should do it with much more ease. For my good is in it, and yours is against.
Poor worm, thou art infected. This visitation shows it.
You look wearily.
No, noble mistress, 'tis fresh morning with me when you are by at night. I do beseech you, chiefly so that I might set it in my prayers. What is your name?
Miranda. Oh, my dear mother, I have broken your hest to say so.
Admired Miranda. Indeed, the top of admiration. Full many a lady I have eyed with best regard, and many a time the harmony of their tongues hath into bondage brought my too diligent ear. For several virtues have I liked several women, but never any with so full soul. Rather, some defect in her did quarrel with the noblest grace she owed. But you, is so perfect and so peerless, are created of every creature's best.
I do not know one of my own sex. No woman's face remember, save from my glass mine own and my dear mother. Nor have I seen more men than I may call you, good friend. How features are abroad. I am skilless of, but by my modesty the jewel and my dower. I do not wish any companion in the world but you, nor can imagination force a shape to like them. But I prattle something too wildly, and my mother's precepts I never do forget.
I am in my condition a prince, Miranda. I do think a king. I would not so, and would no more endure this wooden slavery. But hear my soul speak. The very instant that I saw you, did my heart fly to your service, and therein resides to make me slave to it. It is for your sake that I am this patient log man.
Do you love me?
O heaven, O earth, bear witness to this sound, and crown what I profess if I speak true. I, beyond all limit else of the earth, do love, prize, and honor you.
I am a fool to weep at what I am glad of.
Fair encounter of two most rare affections. Heavens rain grace on that which brings between them.
Wherefore weep you?
At mine unworthiness, that dare not offer what I desire to give, but much less take. What I shall die to want. But this is trifling, and hence bashful cunning, and prompt me, plain and holy innocence. I am your wife, if you will marry me. If not, I will die your maid.
My mistress dearest, and I thus humble ever.
My husband then?
time must I perform much business appertaining.
Oh, I can go no further, ma'am. My old bones ache. My impatience I needs must rest me.
Old Lord, I cannot blame thee, who am myself attached with weariness to the dulling of my spirits. Sit down and rest. He is drowned, whom thus we stray to find, and the sea mocks our frustrate search on land. Well, let him go.
I am right glad that she's so out of hope. Do not for one repulse forgo the purpose that you resolved to effect.
The next advantage will we take thoroughly.
Let it be tonight. For now they are oppressed with travel, they will not, nor cannot use such vigilance as when they are friends.
I say tonight no more.
What harmony is this? My good friends, hark!
Marvelous sweet music.
Oh, give us kind keepers, heavens! What were these?
Living drollery. Now I will believe that they're uniform.
And what does else one credit come to me, and I'll be sworn 'tis true.
If in Naples I should report this, would they believe me? If I should say I saw such islanders who though they are monstrous in shape, yet note their manners are more gentle, kind than of our human generation.
Honest Lord, thou hast said well, for some of you there present are worse than devils.
Will please your taste of what is here?
Not I.
Lady, ma'am, you need not fear.
I will stand to and feed, although my last. No matter, since I feel the best is past. Sister, Lady Duchess, stand to and do as we.
You men and women of sin, whom destiny, the never-surfeited sea, hath caused to belch up you, and on this island, where man doth not inhabit, you amongst men being most unfit to live, I have made you mad! You I and my fellows are ministers of fate, the elements of whom your guns are tempered. May as well wound the loud winds as diminish one down that's in my plume. My fellow ministers are like invulnerable. But remember, for that's my business to you, that you three from Millen did supplant good Prospera, exposed into the sea which hath requited her and her innocent child, for which the powers delayed, not forgetting have incensed the seas and shores. Yea, all creatures against your peace. Thee of thy son, Alonso, they have left, and do pronounce by me lingering perdition worse than any death, shall step by step attend you and your ways.
Bravely the figure of this harpy hast thou performed my aerial. My high charms work, and these mine enemies are all knit up in their distractions. They are in my power, and in these fits I leave them, to visit young Ferdinand, whom they suppose is drowned, and his and mine loved darling.
Name something holy, man. Why stand you in the strange stare?
Oh, it is monstrous! Monstrous! Methought the billows spoke and told me of it. The winds did sing it to me, and the thunder, that deep and dreadful organ pipe, did pronounce the name of Prosper. My son in the ooze is bedded, and I'll seek him
desperate. Their great guilt, like a poison given to work a great time after, now begins to bite their spirits. Damn the strange island.
Ah, master, the swab of the boats in us. Tell not me when the butt is out. We will drink water, not a drop before. Servant monster, drink to me. Servant monster, the folly of this island. Servant monster, drink when I bid thee. Thy eyes are almost set in thy head. Where should they be set else? He'd be a brave monster indeed if they be set in his tail. My man monster hath drowned his tongue in sack. Thou shalt be my lieutenant monster, or my standard. Your lieutenant if you list, he's no standard. Mooncalf, speak once in thy life if thou beest a good mooncalf.
How does thy honor? Here, let me kiss thy foot. I'll not serve him. He's not valiant.
Thou liest, most ignorant monster. Why, I am encased to justle a constable. Why, thou too lost fish thou. Was there ever man a coward who drank so much sack as I today? Wilt thou tell a monstrous lie, be but half a fish and half a monster?
Lo, how he mocks me. Wilt thou let him, my lord?
Lord, quoth he, that a monster should be such a natural.
No, no, again, bite him to death, I pray.
Quick up! Keep a good tongue in thy head. If thou prove a mutineer, the next tree. The man monster is my subject, and shall not suffer indignity.
I thank my noble lord. Wilt thou be pleased to hearken once again the suit I make to thee?
Very will I kneel and repeat it.
As I told thee before, I am subject to a tyrant, a sorceress that by her cunning hath cheated me of the island.
Thou liest!
Thou liest, thou jesting monkey, thou! I would, my noble master, would destroy thee! I do not lie!
Drink it up! Interrupt the monster in's tail, and by this hand I will supplant some of your teeth. Why, I said nothing. Mum then, and no more. Proceed.
As I say, by sorcery she got this isle. From me she got it. If thy greatness will revenge it on her, for I know thou darest, but this thing dare not.
That's most certain.
Thou shalt be lord of it, and I'll serve thee.
How now shall this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the party?
Yea, I'll yield to thee asleep, west thou may knock a nail into her head.
Thou liest, thou canst not.
What a pardon is this, thou scurvy catch? I do beseech thy greatness, give him blows up. And take his bottle from him.
Trinculo! Interrupt the monster. One word further, and by this hand I'll turn my mercy out o' doors and make a stockfish of thee. Why, what did I? I did nothing. I'll go further off. Didst thou not say he lied?
Thou liest.
Do I so? Take I did not give the lie! Out of your wits and bellies too! A pox on your bottle and the devil take your fingers! Now forward your tail. Prithee, stand farther off. Beat him enough, and after a little time, I'll beat him too. Stand farther off. Why, as I told thee before, 'tis a custom with her in the afternoon to sleep. There thou mayst brain her, having first seized her books. Or, with a log, batter her skull. Or, punch her with a stick. Or, cut her weasand with thy knife. But remember first to possess her books. For without them she's but a sot as I am, nor hath not one spirit to command. They all do hate her as rootedly as I. Burn but her books.
What did I say about the books? Listen, her books are very important. Listen to the books.
Now, she has brave utensils. She's a knife and fork. For so she calls them. When she has a house, she'll deck withal, and that, most deeply to consider, is the beauty of her daughter. Now, she herself calls her a nonpareil. I never saw a woman, but only Sycorax, Prospera, and she. But she far surpassed Sycorax as greatest does least.
Is it so brave a lass?
Aye, my lord, she will become thy bed, I warrant, and bring thee forth brave brood.
I will kill this woman. Her daughter and I shall be the king and queen. Save our graces. Trinculo and thyself shall be viceroys. How dost thou like the plot, Trinculo?
Excellent!
Give me thy hand. I said the hand. I'm so sorry I beat thee. I'm so sorry I beat thee. While thou livest, keep a good tongue in thy head.
Within this half hour she'll be asleep. Wilt thou destroy her then?
Ah, on mine arm.
Shall I tell my master?
This makes me merry. I am full of pleasure. Come, let us be talking.
At thy request, Monson, I'll do reason, any reason. Trinculo, let us sing. Round him and stout him in and out, in and out. Take a drink. Fun is free.
That is not the tune. Flap and scout, and scout and flap, and scout and flap.
Thus breathe. If thou beest a man, show thyself in thy likeness. If thou beest a devil, take thou list. Oh, forgive me my sins! I defy thee, mercy upon us!
Art thou afeard?
No monster, not I.
Be not afeard, the isle is full of noises, sounds and sweet airs that give delight and hurt not. Sometimes a thousand twangling instruments will hum about mine ear, and then voices that if then I had waked after long sleep will make me sleep again. And then in dreaming, the clouds methought would open up and show riches ready to drop upon me that when I waked, I cried to dream again.
This will prove a brave kingdom for me, where I shall have my music for nothing.
When Prospera is destroyed,
that shall be by and by.
The sound is going away. Let's follow it in answer to our work.
Lead the way, brave monster. I would I could see this Tabara. He lays it all.
We'll come. I'll follow Stamina!
If I have too austerely punished you, your compensation makes amends. For I have here given a third of mine own life, or that for which I live, whom once again I tender to thy hand. All thy vexations were but trials of thy love, and thou hast strangely stood the test. Here afore heaven, I ratify this my rich gift. Ferdinand, do not smile that I should boast her off, for thou shalt find she will outstrip all praise and make it halt behind her.
I do believe it. Against an oracle.
That is my gift, and thine own acquisition worthily purchased take my daughter. But if thou dost break her virgin knot before all sanctimonious ceremonies may with full and holy rite be ministered, no sweet aspersion shall the heavens let fall to make this contract grow, but barren hate, sour-eyed disdain and discord shall bestrew the union of your bed we lead so loathly. You shall hate it both. Therefore take heed.
As I hope, for quiet day, fair issue and long life, with such love, as 'tis now the strongest suggestion or worst genius can, shall never melt mine honor into lust. Take away the edge of that day's celebration. Away.
Fairly spoke. Sit then and talk with her. She is thine own. Approach my Ariel, my industrious servant Ariel.
What would my lord master?
Here I am. Thou and thy meaner fellows your last service did worthily perform. But I must use you in another trick. Go bring the rabble, or whom I give you power here to this place. Incite them with quick motion, for I must bestow upon the eyes of this young couple some vanity of mine art. It is my promise, and they expect it from me.
Presently.
I with a twink.
Before you can breathe twice and cry so, each one tripping on its toe will be here with mop and mow.
Do you love me, master? No? Dearly, my delicate Ariel, do not approach till thou dost hear me call. Look thou be true, do not give dalliance too much the rein. The strongest oaths are straw to the fire and the blood. Be more abstemious, or else good night your vow.
I warrant you, ma'am. The white cold virgin snow upon my heart abates the ardor of my liver.
Well, approach my Ariel. Appear and pertly, no tongue, all eyes be silent.
Ceres, most bounteous lady,
spoke, my son, in a moved sort. As if you were dismayed, be cheerful, sir. Our revels now are ended, and these our actors, as I foretold, were all spirits, and are melted into air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, ye which it all inherit, shall dissolve. And like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a wreck behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on. Our little lives are rounded with sleep. Sir, I am vexed. Bear with me my weakness, my brain is troubled. Do not be disturbed by my infirmity, if you be so pleased. Retire into my cell, and there repose. A turn or two I'll walk to still my beating mind.
We wish your peace.
Come with a thought, I thank thee, Ariel, come.
Thy thoughts I cleave to. What's thy pleasure?
Spirit, we must prepare to meet with Caliban. Say again, where dost thou leave these varlets?
I told you, ma'am, they were red hot with drinking. So fun of valor that they smote the air for breathing in their faces, beat the ground for kissing of their feet. At which, like unbacked colts, they pricked their ears, advanced their eyelids, lifted up their noses as they smelt music. So I charmed their ears. At half-like they my lowing followed through. Tooth briars, sharp furzes, pricking gorse and thorns entered their frail shins. At last, I left them in the filthy mantled pool beyond your cell. There, dancing up to their chins, the foul lake o'er stunk their feet.
This was well done, my bird. Thy shape invisible retain thou still. The trumpery in my house, go bring it hither, for stale to catch these thieves.
I go.
A devil. A born devil, on whose nature nurture can never stick. On whom my pains humanely taken, all lost. Quite lost. And as with age his body uglier grows, so his mind cankers. I will plague them all, even to roaring. Come! Hang them on this line!
Hey, you! Tread softly, that the blind mole may not hear a footfall. We are now near her cell.
Oh, monster, I do smell a horse piss in which my nose is in great indignation. So is mine. Do you hear, monster? If I should take a displeasure to you, look, you! Thou wert but a lost monster.
Good my king, give me thy favor still, for the prize I'll bring thee to shall hoodwink this mischance. Therefore, speak softly. All's hushed, 'tis midnight yet.
Aye, but to lose our battle in the pool, there's not only disgrace and dishonor in that, but an infinite loss.
Prithee, my king, be quiet! Seest thou here? This is the mouth of the cell. No noise, and enter. Now, do that good mischief which might make this island thine own forever, and I, thy Caliban, for I, thy footlicker.
Give me thy hand. I do begin to have bloody thoughts. Oh, King Stefano, oh, fear! Oh, worthy Stefano, look at what a wardrobe is here for thee.
Let it alone, thou fool, it is but trash.
Oh, monster! Oh, King Stefano! Trinculo! Put off that gown. By this hand, I shall have that gown.
Great have it. Aye, what do you mean to dote thus on such luggage? Let's alone and do the murder first. If she awake from toe to crown, she'll fill our skin with pinches.
Be quiet, monster. Oh, Mr. Slide, is not this my crown? Do.
I will have none on't. We shall lose our time and all be turned to barnacles or to apes with foreheads, villainous low.
Monster! Bear this away to
hogshead of wine is here. Or I'll turn thee out of my kingdom. Go to carry this.
And this.
Aye, and this.
Fury, fury.
Let them be hunted soundly. At this hour lie at my mercy all mine enemies. Shortly shall all my labors end, and thou shalt have the air at freedom. For a little follow and do me service. How's the day?
On the 6th hour, at which time, my lord, you said our work should cease.
I did say so, when I first raised the tempest, but say, my spirit, how fares the queen and her followers?
In the same fashion as you gave in charge, just as you left them, all prisoners, ma'am. The queen, her sister, and yours abide all three distracted, and the remainder mourning over them. Your charm so strongly works them, that if you now beheld them, your affections would become tender.
Dost thou think so, spirit?
Mine were, ma'am, were I human.
And mine shall. Though with their high wrongs I am struck to the quick. Yet with my nobler reason gainst my fury do I take part. The rarer action is in virtue than in vengeance. They being penitent, the sole drift of my purpose doth extend not a frown further. Go release them, Ariel. My charms I'll break, their senses I'll restore, and they shall be themselves.
I'll fetch them, ma'am.
Ye elves of hills, brook-standing lakes and groves, you demi-puppets by whose aid I have bedimmed the noontide sun, called forth mutinous winds, and twixt the green sea and azured vaults set roaring war. Graves at my command have waked their sleepers, oped and let them forth by my so potent art. But this rough magic I must here abjure. And when I require some heavenly music, which even now I do, to work mine end upon their senses, that this airy charm is for, I'll break my staff, bury it certain fathoms in the earth, and deeper than ever did plummet sound, I'll drown my book. Solemn air and the best comforter to an unsettled fancy, cure thy brain now useless, boiled within thy skull. There stand, for you are spell-stopped. Holy Gonzalo, most honorable man, my true preserver, and a most loyal sir to her you followest, I will pay thy graces both home in word and deed. Cruelly didst thou, Alonso, use me and my daughter. My sister was a furtherer in the act. Thou art pinched for it now, Sebastian. Flesh and blood, you sister mine who entertained ambition, expelled remorse and nature, whom with Sebastian would here have killed your queen. I do forgive thee, unnatural though thou art. Their understanding begins to swell, but not one of them that yet looks on me or would know me. Ariel, fetch me my robe and myself. I will discase me and myself present as I was sometime milling, and quickly, spirit, thou shalt ere long be free. So to the Queen's ship, invisible as thou art, there shalt thou find mariners asleep. Under the hatches, the master and the boatswain being awake, enforce them to this place. And presently I prithee, I drink the air and return, or else your pulse flood free.
All torment, trouble, wonder, and amazement inhabits here. Oh, some heavenly power guides out of this fearful country.
Behold, man, Queen, the wronged Duchess Prospera. For more assurance that a lively prince does now speak to thee, I embrace thy body. And to thee and thy company bid a hearty welcome.
Where thou beest she, or some enchanted trifle to abuse me, as late have I been, might not know. Thy pulse beats as of flesh and blood, and since I saw thee last, the affliction of my mind amends, with which I fear a madness held me. A most strange story. Thy dukedom I resign, and do entreat thou pardon me my wrongs. But how should Prospera be living, and be here?
Whether this be or be not, I'll not swear.
Welcome, my friends, all. With you, my gracie lords, were I so minded, I here could have her highness pluck her frown upon you, and justify you traitors. At this time, I will tell no tales.
The devil speaks in her.
No. And you to whom call sister would even infect my mouth, I do forgive thee. Of thy rankest fault all theft, and require my dukedom of thee, which perforce I know thou must restore.
If thou beest Prospera, give us the particulars of thy preservation. How thou hast met us here, whom 3 hours since were wrecked upon your shore, where I have lost how sharp the point of this reverence is. My dear son Ferdinand.
I'm over it, ma'am. I too have lost my daughter.
My daughter. Oh heavens, that they were living both in Naples, the king and queen there. When did you lose your daughter?
In this last tempest. No more yet of this, for 'tis a chronicle of day by day, not a relation for breakfast, nor befitting this first meeting. Welcome, ma'am. This cell's my court. Here have I few attendants and subjects, none abroad. Pray you look in. Since you have given me my dukedom again, I will requite thee with as good a thing. At least bring forth a wonder to content ye, as much as me my dukedom.
Sweet lord, you play me false.
I thought we were playing checkers.
For a score of kingdoms you should wrangle. I would call it fair play.
If this prove a vision of the isle, one dear son shall I twice lose.
A most high miracle.
Though the seas threaten, they are merciful. I have cursed them without cause.
Now all the blessings of a glad mother compass thee about.
Oh, wonder! How many goodly creatures are there here? Mankind is. Oh, brave new world. What has such people in it?
'Tis near to thee.
What is this maid with whom thou wast to play? Your else acquaintance cannot be 3 hours. Is she the goddess that hath severed us and brought us thus together?
Ma'am, she is mortal. By immortal providence, she's mine. I chose her when I could not ask my mother for her advice, nor thought I had one. She is daughter to this famous Duke of Milan, of whom so often I have heard great renown, but never saw before, of whom I have received second life, and second mother, this lady makes her to me.
Oh, how oddly will it sound, but I must ask my child forgiveness.
There, ma'am, stop. Let us not burden our remembrance with a heaviness that's gone.
Give me your hands. Let grief and sorrow still embrace his heart that doth not wish you joy.
Be it so. Amen. Oh, look, sir. Look, man, here's more of us. Now, I prophesied if gallows were on land, this man could not drown. What is the news?
The best is that we have found our queen and company. The next, our ship, which but 3 glasses since we give out split, is tight and yaw and bravely rigged as when we first set out to sea.
Ma'am, all this have I done since I went, my tricksy spirit.
These are not natural events. They strengthen from strange to stranger.
Was it done well? Bravely, my diligence. Thou shalt soon be free.
There is in this business more than nature was ever conduct of. Some oracle must rectify our knowledge.
Come hither, spirit. Set Caliban and his companions free. Untie the spell. How fares my gracious queen? There are yet of your company missing some few odd lads that you remember not.
Let every man shift for all the rest. Let no man take care for himself.
If these be true spies which I wear in my head, here's a goodly sight.
Oh, Tempest, ye be brave spirits indeed. Oh, how fine my master is. I'm afraid she will chastise me.
What things are these, my Lord Antonio? Will money buy 'em?
Very like one of them is a plain fish and no doubt marketable.
These three have robbed me, and this demi-devil, for he's a bastard one, has plotted with them to take my life.
I shall be pinched in bed.
Is this not Stefano, my drunken butler?
Who's drunk now, where had we wine?
And Trinculo is reeling right. Where should they find this grand liquor that hath gilded 'em? How camest thou in this pickle?
I have been in such a pickle since I saw you last. I fear you will never out of my bones. I shall not fear fly before you.
Why, how now, Stefano?
Oh, don't touch the eye. I am not Stefano, but a crab.
You'd be king of this isle, Sirrah.
I should have been a soul one day.
This is as strange a thing as e'er I looked on.
He is as disproportioned in his shape as in his manners. Go, Sirrah, to my cell. Take with you your companions, and as you look to have my pardon, trim it handsomely.
Aye, that I will, and I'll be wise hereafter and seek full grace. What a thrice double ass was I to take this drunkard for a god and worship this dull fool.
Go to! Away!
Hence, and bestow your luggage where you found it.
Or stole it, rather.
Ma'am, I invite your highness and your train to my poor cell, where for this one night you shall take your rest, and in the morn I'll bring you to Naples, where I have hoped to see the nuptial of this our dear beloved solemnized. Thence retire me to Milan, where every third thought shall be my grave.
I long to hear the story of your life, which must take the ear strangely.
I'll deliver all, with promise calm seas, auspicious gales, and sails so expeditious shall catch your royal fleet far off. My aerial chick. That is thy charge. Then to the elements, be free. Be free. And fare thou well. He who is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he that is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. Please you draw near. Now my charms are all o'erthrown, and what strength I have to mine own, which is fate now, 'tis true. I must be here confined by you, or sent to Naples, but let me not, since I have my dupes from God, and pardoned the deceiver dwell in this bare island by your spell. But release me from my bands.
hope of your good hands. Gentle breath of yours my sails must fill, or else our project fails, which was to please. Now I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant, and my ending is despair unless I be relieved by prayer, which pierces so that it assaults mercy itself and frees all faults. As you from crimes departed be, let your indulgence set me free.